Genuine question. Who thought we were going to win that game? Who thought we were even going to be competitive in that game? Bears lose their 13th straight, 41-10 at the hands of the reigning Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, to the surprise of absolutely no one. This game wasn't even like fun. This game wasn't even like anything anyone would have expected. I actually genuinely don't know why Fox thought this would have been a good idea to send their top broadcast team out to. The game got switched from Fox's American Game of the Week from Bears Chiefs to Cowboys Cardinals at halftime. Absolutely pathetic. And to be honest, I've lost track on how many times I've said pathetic or anything like that. Frustrating, annoying, any sort of negative word. I cannot find any positives. The whole team was outmatched, and everyone knew that this team was outmatched by the Kansas City Chiefs. And if you didn't think that they were outmatched, if you thought they may have had a chance, you're dumb, because they did not have a shot. There was no chance they were even going to be competitive in this game, and it played exactly as many people thought it was going to be. I don't think many people had it being 34-0 at half, but it played out exactly the way that people would have expected. I'm honestly surprised that they did not actually put up 70 points like the Dolphins did against the Broncos today. The Bears' next opponent. The Broncos put up 20 points at least. Bears put up 10, and they all came in garbage time. It was 41-0 going into the fourth quarter. Fields gets shaken up a little bit on a third down and goal run, which he probably should have thrown the ball on anyways because that's the problem he's having. And then they kick the field goal. And then in the last 5 minutes, Fields throws a touchdown pass to DJ Moore to get his touchdown pass per game. But the fact that Fields had only thrown the ball 11 times, midway through the third quarter, again, there's the problem. Luke Getsy needs to be fired. Justin Fields, I'll give him one more shot against Denver because guess what? Kansas City's a really good football team. That defense, it could be one of the best in the league. I'm not surprised about this performance. The whole game doesn't surprise me at all. So to me, this game is pretty much a throwaway game. It's exactly as what everyone expected. Now, if they can't do anything against the Denver Broncos, who let up 70 points last week and 35 the week before that, I don't know what they can do. I don't know if this offense has anything worth redeeming. It may be an absolute offensive shootout because neither the Bears or the Broncos can defend. So I don't know what's going to happen. I have zero clue and zero idea on what's going to happen because guess what? Fields actually made a couple good passes to DJ Moore at the end of the game. If he can play like that consistently, he'd be a good quarterback in this league. But he can't read defenses and he can't throw the ball because I don't know. He has to be more decisive with his throws. I mean, there's so many things that I could be saying right now that I've probably already said in the last two videos. There's just so many things that I just can't fathom what I just witnessed. It's really annoying. It's really frustrating. I look at the Chiefs' offense today, and I see a well-oiled machine. I look at their offense, and I'm like, man, wouldn't that be nice to experience an offense that I can count on? Wouldn't it be nice to experience an offense that I don't have to be holding my breath every drive to see if they can somehow find a way to score points? I've been asking myself that for the last decade. It's a shame, really. It really is. It really frustrates me. I am sick and tired of losing. This entire city is. The organization doesn't seem to care. And that's the reason why we keep losing, because the organization doesn't seem to care. I really thought the departure of Ted Phillips would bring new life to this organization, some new life into the organization. And I'm not blaming Kevin Warren yet. It's been 3 games, and he's been given a terrible hand. I'm not blaming him. I am sick and tired of the coaching staff. If we can't beat Denver and we can't beat Washington, that entire staff has to be fired. We're already down our defensive coordinator because he did some inappropriate things. I'll get into whatever the hell happened in between these last two games in just a minute. But, like, Flus has got to be gone if we start 0-5 going into the mini bye week after Thanksgiving. Or not at Thanksgiving, Thursday night against Washington. I can't do that. There has to be a point where the organization has to say, we're done. We're going to hire an offensive-minded head coach. They got to stop with this. They did with Matt Nagy. He had one good year, and now because he couldn't succeed as a head coach, he ran back to daddy, Andy Reid, and is now the offensive coordinator in Kansas City. And he's probably doing his victory lap because the entire city of Chicago booed him and was terrible to him at the end of his coaching tenure in Chicago. And he's probably doing his own victory lap right now because he just absolutely whooped us with his offense. Granted, I don't think he needed to do much. All he needed to do was just to call plays. Not even anything. He probably could have gotten his plays from Madden rookie mode and just actually beat us because this defense is that bad. And see, I have no animosity towards the Chiefs organization. They have not been a organization that has been very distasteful. I don't care. I actually like Mahomes. I like him as a leader. He's a guy, to me, that is not like a lot of athletes and someone who will play through injuries, someone who will play through. Like today, he sprained his ankle again like he did in the Super Bowl, I believe, and he still played through it. Andy Reid's he's a great head coach. Like, there's no point for me to have any animosity towards the Kansas City Chiefs because it's like, what is there to be mad about? What did they do? Beat us in a football game? That doesn't matter. I don't care about that. We only play them once every 4 years. That doesn't matter to me. They beat us in a football game they were expected to win, and they dominated like they were supposed to. This is not a surprise. Which now brings me to the organization itself. This organization is an absolute clown show, and this last week really proved that this may not even be an on-field issue. Well, there is plenty of issues on the field. There are plenty of issues on the field that I could go on for a long time about. But I'm not going to because they've already heard enough. And they've probably heard enough, not only from me, but from every other Bears fan. The organization is all cooped in their press boxes, not caring about what this team's doing. Once the McCaskies are out of the organization, this team will improve. And I know it sounds a bit, I know it's like their history. They're related to George Halas, pretty much the founder of the NFL. Don't care. Don't care anymore. George McCaskey is an absolute hack. He cannot run this organization. He is running it into the ground, and he seems content with it. For some reason, he's not upset. He'll say some things in a press conference to say how upset he is or something, but I don't really truly feel like he's upset with how this team's doing. He's probably really content because all of us are still going to the games, and we're still buying all the merchandise, and we're still doing all this stuff that's going to line his pockets with money. There's no reason to care on the product on the field. Kevin Warren, I'm giving a pass right now. He's new to the organization. I don't know how things are going to go with him. I have zero clue. Alan Williams, the whole debacle with him was one of the weirdest stories I've ever seen come out of the NFL since I started following it. Because it was ever changing and it went from bad to worse to criminal to just not that bad. Like, there was a whole thing, he had a leave of absence, and we were like, look, if he needs a leave of absence to care for some personal matters, he needs that. Life is bigger than football. I think that's something that all football fans need to understand. Life is bigger than football. Oh my gosh, some of these people, they drive me nuts because it doesn't matter if you expect them to lose. I used to be this person, by the way, when I was, in middle school. I used to be the guy that football was it. If the Bears lost, my day was ruined. The Bears lost, I was an absolute tantrum all day. Now I've been witnessing this team for just about a decade, and it's all I've seen is losing. I'm numb to losing at this point. This goes for not only the Bears, but for all the Chicago sports teams, because the Cubs outside of 2016 have done pretty much nothing. The Blackhawks had their heyday, and since a couple years after their Stanley Cup, they've done nothing. And then the Bulls, they still can't do anything since MJ left. They have not been able to do anything. They had 1 year with Derrick Rose, they had 1 year with Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, and that's it. And then don't even get me started on the White Sox. That organization's arguably probably the worst in the city. That is not even up for debate. I don't think you can go have a 100 loss season after your fans were thinking they were going to go to the playoffs. That can't happen. At least us Bears fans know what's going to happen. And yet we're still upset about it. Which we have a right to be. We have a right to be upset. A right to state our grievances and complain. Complaining is we're allowed to complain. It's fine. It's just, if you actually thought that we were going to be competitive today, you're delusional. I have no idea what you were thinking. I don't know what you saw in the first 2 weeks that said, oh, we have a chance of beating Kansas City in their building. And so this is just the exclamation point on an absolutely terrible week where we lose our defensive coordinator, and then it starts to get revealed on why he left the team. It got criminal, really deplorable stuff. But then it's just, he was just being inappropriate or something. We have no idea what the full extent of that is yet. I'm pretty sure there will be things that will come out this upcoming week, leading up to our game against Denver. But from what it seems like, the whole situation has avoided the worst case scenario, which I'm always going to be okay with. Regardless, it's still embarrassing for the franchise. And I even talked about how Justin Fields ripped into the coaching staff. Didn't even mention that. And yet still played like trash. And yet still had some of the nagging issues he's had the past 2 weeks again. I don't know what to do with him. I just need to see what he does against Denver. If he can perform well against the Broncos, maybe that there's something there. But if he can't do well against the Broncos defense that just let up 70 points to the Miami Dolphins, there's no hope. And then comes the cherry on top. The stadium gets robbed. Soldier Field gets robbed. $100,000 of equipment vanish. Poof. Gone from existence because some fools came and stole it. And that shows that the Bears organization does not care. They do not care about this football team. They don't care. And it's been proven year after year after year, and it's being proven again. And it's so frustrating because I feel like sometimes it's all about the talent on the field. But sometimes literally the organization is the biggest problem in the organization. The top-ranking guys who own the team are the problem sometimes. And I don't know if they are. I genuinely don't know anymore because the team is absolutely terrible. But as an organization, how can you let that happen? How can you let someone or a group of people burgle your stadium and take $100,000 worth of equipment? How do you let that happen? It's embarrassing. This is going to go down as one of the worst weeks, maybe the worst week in Bears history. I don't know about going that far. There's 100 years of material to an embarrassment to go through. So, I don't know if I can say that. But it is definitely one of the worst weeks in Bears history. Going from an embarrassing loss to Tampa all the way to an embarrassing loss against Kansas City with a loss of a defensive coordinator, bunch of stuff coming out about him, Justin Fields, your quarterback, ripping into your coaching staff inadvertently, not necessarily directly, but he was basically ripping into the coaching staff. Your team's injured. Braxton Jones got put on IR. Gordon's not playing. And I don't know what Jackson and Brisker are doing. Brisker, I saw him in the game today, but I don't think they're at 100%. And then, of course, your stadium just got robbed. It's ridiculous, embarrassing, and the organization should be ashamed. When are things going to change? When is it going to occur to the staff at the Chicago Bears that there's a massive problem? And what can we do to fix the problem? I don't know. For our next head coach, because Eberflus isn't lasting through to next season. When we hire our next head coach, let's not have a defensive-minded head coach because that backfired on us heavily. He's 3-20 as a head coach, or no, 3-17 as a head coach now. I have no words for that. And that says it all. Why don't we fire an offensive, hire. We want to fire Eberflus. We want to hire an offensive-minded head coach that can develop the next quarterback that we have, because I doubt if Justin Fields plays like this for much longer, he'll be with the team at all for much longer. So I really think that if he doesn't change his act and start performing at even a competent level in the next couple of weeks, everyone's going to be calling for Tyson Bagent to start. It's embarrassing. It's frustrating. And the city of Chicago does not deserve a losing football team. The Bears fans, some of them deserve this. Deserve being the laughing stock of stuff. Like, genuinely, some of these fans really got on my nerves, and they made me believe. Gosh darn it, I hate believing in this team. Because I always get my heart broken. You know what? They're going to lose next week, and they're going to lose against Washington. They're going to lose. Honestly, they may go 0-17 if they play anything like this for the rest of the year. Because this team looks like they have no drive. They have no drive, and they have no. No one wants to win. They're quitting. They're all quitters right now. They quit after the first quarter here against Kansas City. They weren't even trying. Man, I really thought things were going to be different this year. New year, same old Bears. Anyways, that's going to do it for this reaction. If you liked it, please hit the like button and subscribe for more of these reactions, because I know you guys are going to be wanting to see how I react if they lose to Denver next week. Have a good one, everyone. I'll see you next week.